Hi there. Now, when I was doing my video about the Man of Steel, I also noticed or remembered a stupid criticism that people often made with Henry Cavill's Superman, and that was he was too overpowered. All I can say to begin with, before I start this, is what the fuck? Did none of them read a comic or ever watch a Superman film prior to Man of Steel? So, for this video, I'm going to tell you plainly and simply who is the most powerful Superman on the big screen, with the correlating data. The results are here, and the second one will surprise you. When it comes to the most powerful Superman on the big screen, it's a debate that often comes down to two contenders. Number one, Christopher Reeve's Superman from the 1978 and 1987 films, and Brandon Routh, same incarnation. This version of Superman often displayed Silver Age-like powers, which were often exaggerated and inconsistent. Feats include reversing the Earth's rotation to turn back time, catching beams from other Kryptonians and throwing them back, or push them back, would be more accurate, withstanding a nuclear explosion without a scratch, pushing tectonic plates, and even rebuilding the Great Wall of China with his special vision beam, some sort of beam. And he pushed the moon in front of the sun to make an eclipse. These are often seen as some of the most outlandish and powerful displays of any live-action Superman. Now, being that Brandon Routh is the same Superman, we can also add to this lifting a whole continent-sized piece of rock made of kryptonite into space in Superman Returns. Now, the second contender is not Cavill, as some of you might say, or think I'm going to predict, but actually a version that was on TV via the CW network. Can you guess? Number two, coming out at number two, is Tom Welling's Superman from Smallville, which had a theatrical release for its finale and is often included in these discussions. While primarily a TV series, Welling's Superman, particularly by the end of the show, showcased immense power. He was capable of pushing a planet called Apocalypse away from Earth with ease, and battled incredibly powerful villains like Doomsday. And because it's set in the early years of Reeve Superman, albeit retconned in places, chances are Welling's Superman would then be on par with Christopher Reeve. While Henry Cavill's Superman from the DCEU is undeniably strong and visually impressive in his fights, his feats, while powerful, generally don't reach the more reality-bending levels of Reeves or Welling's iterations. The discussions often highlight Cavill's strength in combat and ability to take on multiple powerful opponents, but his is more grounded, relatively speaking, power set puts him a step below the more fantastical displays of the others. Therefore, for sheer over-the-top reality-bending power, OP as you would have it, Christopher Reeve's Superman is often cited as the most powerful Superman on the big screen, with Tom Welling's Superman also being a strong contender due to his planet-moving feat. At number 3, we get to Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League. Cavill's Superman is known for his immense physical power and destructive capability, particularly in his battles against General Zod, albeit it was collateral damage. Even in Superman 2, Metropolis got wrecked and people got hurt, albeit it didn't look on the same scale due to budgets and effects of the time. And he fought Doomsday, who caused widespread devastation. And the objects he pulls or lifts and withstands a nuclear bomb, albeit so can Reeves, but without a scratch. Cavill's Superman, bear in mind, does bear, by the look of it, some slight damage to his skin. And he can destroy a highly powerful terraforming engine or spaceship. He was portrayed as incredibly powerful, capable of overwhelming the entire Justice League after his resurrection. Took a hit from Steppenwolf's axe and knocked him down like a bitch. Not being funny, but one of the best Superman scenes in film, in my opinion. While he didn't display the more fantastical powers of Reeve/Roth, his raw strength and invulnerability were consistently emphasized. Number 4, Tyler Hoechlin, Arrowverse, Superman and Lois. Hoechlin's Superman in the Arrowverse, particularly in Superman and Lois, has shown some significant power feats, including lifting icebergs and bridges and engaging in intense battles, flying into the sun. While perhaps not as far as we know overtly overpowered as Welling or Reeve, in specific instances, his consistent display of strength and resilience against various threats puts him high on the list. Number 5, David Cornsweet, Superman, James Gunn Superman 2025. Based on the information available, David Cornsweet's Superman, as seen in the new Superman movie, would likely fit in the middle to lower middle of the provided ranking, with the potential to move up in future films. Here's why. Compared to Henry Cavill's Superman, David Cornsweet's Superman is currently portrayed as powerful but with more limitations and vulnerability than Henry Cavill's so-called godlike version. While he performs impressive feats like saving people from a black hole using his breath, he is shown bleeding and doesn't yet match the sheer dominance Cavills and the other Supermen have displayed, e.g. holding off the entire Justice League. James Gunn's portrayal is described as more grounded and relatable. Early in his arc, the DCU is designed to unfold over a decade, and Cornsweet's Superman is still early in his journey. He's shown using restraint and learning, suggesting his full power ceiling is yet to be revealed. He could eventually surpass Cavill's power level, and if Gunn was inspired by both Smallville and Superman 78, then this may be true in the future. Feats shown. He's faced significant threats like the Hammer of Bulgaria, aka Ultraman, Lex's Raptors, a Kaiju and the Engineer. He also saved himself and others from a black hole's pool. However, he also faced instances of being overwhelmed or debilitated, e.g. by Metamorpho's kryptonite form. Given these points, if we were to insert him into the previous ranking, he would likely land around 4 or 5, with the understanding that his power level is still developing. He's clearly more powerful than the earliest live action Supermen like George Reeves, Kirk Allen, Dean Cain and the Superboy iterations. So don't hate me, I'm just saying this early on. But for now, the more established Silver Age level Superman, Reeve/Roth, and the consistently high-powered Cavill and Welling versions are depicted as more powerful based on their on-screen feats. 6. Dean Cain. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. Cain's Superman possessed the core abilities of flight, super strength, and speed, but his feats were generally more grounded and less exaggerated than the other iterations. He primarily dealt with human-level threats and occasionally super-powered villains, but rarely on a cosmic or planet-altering scale. Number 7. Legend George Reeves. Superman and the Mole Man, Adventures of Superman TV show. As one of the earliest live-action Supermen, George Reeves' portrayal was limited by the technology and the budget of the time. While he was strong and could fly, his powers were often depicted with less visual grandeur compared to later versions. His primary feats involved stopping bullets, lifting heavy objects, and jumping over buildings. Number 7. John Haynes, Newton and Gerald Christopher Superboy TV show. These versions of Superboy depicting Clark Kent's early days as a hero showcased a developing power set. They had super strength and some flight, but were generally operating at a lower power level than more established Supermen, often facing street-level criminals and less cosmic threats. Number 9. Kirk Allen, Superman 1948 and Atom Man vs. Superman. The first live-action Superman from the serials. Allen's powers were highly constrained by special effects limitations. His flight was often animated or implied, and his strength feats were modest compared to later depictions. He relied more on cleverness and less on raw power. See, the joke is, people don't realise Superman as a character is overall one of the most overpowered characters, full stop. People have no idea how much force Superman has to put into to cancel out the strength as to not kill someone, while showing affection as the new showing them affection as the new Superman puts. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard. Always constant care, not to break something, to break someone. Never allowing myself to lose control, even for a moment, or someone could die. But you can take it, can't you, big man? What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am. Superman is always overpowered, and the irony is the same people who complained that the Man of Steel was too overpowered are now the same people complaining that Superman is too weak. The new Superman appears weak because, you could say, to be fair, he is holding back. Let himself go and you would get moments like in the Justice League Snyder Cut, and the sort of power and strength that Christopher Reeve showed. And we may see that in the future when a big bad comes along. So no, Henry Cavill Superman is not overpowered. He's only number 3. And this is only in the films. There are way more stupidly overpowered incarnations of Superman in the comics. But to complain or claim that the reason why Man of Steel was bad or terrible or rubbish because he was overpowered, it's just garbage and just an excuse to trash a really good incarnation of Superman who, whether you like it or not, is still beloved today. It needs to stop, and who knows, in the future, Gunn's Superman may soar to number 1 in the future. Well, I mean, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care and be well.